Alright guys, we're going to do one more cold weather video. Hopefully I can pull this together the way I intend to. But this car here has been sitting in the driveway for a couple days, hasn't been driven. It's been extremely cold. It was left at 100% state of charge. We're going to go ahead, we're going to start it up. I'm going to let it warm up in there, see how long that takes, see how much battery it takes. And then we're going to let it run and see how much battery just heat will eat up. Alright, so again, we've got the trusty home thermostat in the vehicle. It's displaying 40, which again I think is the lowest it'll display. We're going to go ahead and just leave that on the armrest and get this car started up. On the startup, it initially went to high, kicked everything on, max everything. This car has been factory reset, so all the EV driving history, all my account information has been taken off of it. It was displaying 162, if I remember, when it got up to 100. So just sitting in the cold. The guessometer here is down to 132. It's 8:50 in the morning. It's currently reading 7 degrees outside. It was very cold overnight. Yesterday was in the single digits all day. Got down below zero overnight. So it's very cold. The battery would be extremely cold at this point. Just gonna go ahead and let it run. I'm gonna leave it set to like 72-ish. Get that to 72. I think that's a comfortable range for a lot of people, and we're just going to leave it here and let it run. Okay, the vehicle's been running now for 25 minutes. We're still at 100% battery, but you can see we've gone down in its range guesstimate to 128. Again, that's a guessometer. Please, people, don't freak out about this number. You get to driving efficiently, you're going to outperform that number. I promise you. Looking over here at the thermostat, it hasn't changed from 40 yet. I'm going to go ahead and keep that right here on the armrest. I'm going to go ahead and change it from this setting that it defaulted to having the e-heat on coming out of the vents. I'll turn on the air circulation, as you guys might have saw in the last video. That doesn't really stay on for a long period of time. I don't know if that's to keep the air quality in the car, so you're not breathing in your own breath and farts all day, but it doesn't stay on circulation. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and let this run, and then we're gonna come back. We're coming up on 30 minutes of running. Obviously, the primary use is the climate, because we're not driving. Accessories has to be the screen and some of the additional pumps and stuff that push the coolant through the battery pack. Alright, so it's been about an hour. Not quite. But just as I suspected, the vehicle turned itself off. I'm going to assume that happened not too much longer after I was last in the car. So I'm going to start it up again. I'm going to see what I can do to get this to stay on. Alright, back up and running. 128, still 100%. All the settings are back to where I left them. So 72, heated seats, steering wheel, vents open, recirculation on. So it's currently 9:44, still reading 7 degrees outside. Google's got the temperature up a little bit higher than that. I think it's at 12 on my phone, but no, that's neither here nor there. This thing's still showing a 40. I can't get the right angle. I'm going to see if I can't get this to somehow stay on. I might need to come out and drive it up the driveway and back up every half hour or so. Okay, guys, 17 minutes in, coming up on 18. Car is still running, as to be expected. Still at 100%. So it ran for a half hour, shut down for what I assume to be about 15 minutes, and then back up here running for 18 minutes. Settings at 72. You can see that air recirc thing turned itself off again. Like I said, that doesn't stay on. I don't know exactly what the thought process there is, but you can't get that to stay on for any extended period of time. We're starting to get a reading on here. I think right here you can see it. We just clicked over to 49. What I'm going to do, this car doesn't have any license plates on it at this point. That one's my driver. But I'm going to drive to the end of the driveway and back up, and hopefully that resets the 30-minute clock. I don't know, wish me luck. Trying to do this very slow to not really utilize too much battery. I really want to get a good indication as to what the heat impact is when it comes to just battery pack. You know, recently there was that meme going around. There was kind of op-ed by the oil companies and car companies that didn't invest in EVs. On if an EV was stuck in traffic, we'd all be dead. So I'd love to be able to show that we wouldn't die out there. Temperature currently showing 51 degrees in the car. Okay, we've successfully ran for an hour at this point. It's now 10:44 a.m. We have finally clicked over to 99%, and the interior temperature of the vehicle is 67 degrees. We'll go ahead and pull forward and back up again, come back in another half hour. Alright, so we've been running now consistently for an hour and 47 minutes. Gonna roll the car back and forth again. Again, 72 is the target. Air recirculation doesn't stay on. Let me grab that thermostat. Alright. We're at 71. The range has dropped to 118. The battery has reduced down to 95%. So all this heat use plus the few feet of driving that I've done has consumed about 4 to 5% of the battery. The outside temperature here is still reading 7 degrees. I don't know that that's completely accurate. It's a sunny day here. It is cold. Google is estimating about 20, and it feels like it has warmed up outside a little bit, but we're still getting a 7-degree reading. So with a 7-degree reading, coming up on 2 hours soon, almost hit that 72 target. I'll be back. Quick update, about hour and 51 and a half minutes. The thermostat clicked over to 72, so matching what we had set. 2 hours and 16 minutes of constant runtime. Currently down to 92% with an estimated range of 115 miles. Again, don't panic about the guessometer. Temperature, I moved this pretty much right into the back seat. No direct sunlight, no direct flow from the little vent back there. It's reading 74 at this point with a goal of 72, so holding temperature pretty well in here. We're going to go ahead and let this run for a little while longer and see what we get to. We've traveled a total distance of 0.1 mile at this point, with the constant driving to the end of the driveway and back. If anyone's curious, I know elevation plays into some of these calculations. I'm not going to run through calculations. I don't know them well enough to be able to do that. But we are at relatively low elevation, 364 feet. Back in the car again, coming up on 2 hours and 45 minutes. We have just passed the 10% battery reduction stage. One thing I was able to find, car settings, vehicle. You can see there is actually a vehicle power down timer that tells you automatically turn the vehicle off 30 minutes if it's left unattended. So I want to go ahead and turn that off, and we'll let this run for a while. Now that that's off, I'll come back and see what it's doing. Alright, over 3.5 hours of consistent runtime. We've dropped all the way down to 86% temperature. I haven't changed anything. I just hit this auto button just now. Temperature in the car continues to climb. This has been sitting in the back seat, again, away from the vents, no direct sunlight. Gotten up to 80 as a reading back there, back on the back seat. So we're going to put this to 72, keep it there with the auto on, see if that tries to regulate it down. You can tell it's been pulling some electricity for a while now. Still reading 7, which it is what it is. Alright, back in the car, you can see that we're down to 76% on the vehicle, which is an estimated range of 97 miles. Again, don't freak out. It doesn't really matter what the range reads. We're coming up on 6 hours, so we've been running here for that long. Still targeting 72 as an internal temperature. I'll reach back into my seat. Still telling me that it's 80 in here. So if you were stuck on the side of the road, so far you're not dead. You're still comfortable. You're probably bored, but you're not dead. 76%, 6 hours almost of running. Still reading 7 degrees outside. That's the one thing that's a little bit of a confusion, because it's definitely not 7 degrees. It got up into the mid-20s today. You can tell it's starting to get dark outside. It's 3:30. Temperatures are starting to go down. I'll continue to keep the external temperature noted, because this is bullshit. That's not correct. But that's what we're at so far. I'll keep you posted. Bye, guys. Alright, guys, we're coming up on 9 hours of runtime. We've dropped down to 61%, or 79 miles. You're not going to be able to see that. Turn the light on. Maybe you can. There we go. 80 degrees still in this car. Again, for the majority of this that has been sitting in the back seat. Gonna go ahead and just keep letting it run. Alright, real quick, I'm in my other Mustang Mach-E at this point. You can see Google is showing 32 degrees. This one is actually reading 35 degrees. Hopping back in the vehicle that we're doing the test on, as it's been displaying all day, it's been displaying 7 degrees outside. So this is frozen, not giving an accurate reading. Just keep that in mind as we're doing this. So it's been approximately mid 20s to the low 30s for the majority of the day. So this is a 68 kilowatt battery. I'm going to multiply that by 0.40, which gives us a total kilowatts used of 27.2 kilowatts. And if we divide that number by the approximate 9.5 hours that it is run to get to 40% used, we're looking at a kilowatt usage right now of 2.86. 10 hours and approximately 45 minutes if we include the early run. Currently at 56. Alright, I'll be back. It's 8:02. Alright, we're at 11 hours, 20 minutes. We are at 51%. I'm going to get this to 50%. We're going to stop there. I will let you know as soon as we get there. It's currently 9:06 p.m. at night. Still maintaining 81. So, pretty warm in here. Overall, could be much more efficient. If you were stuck or stranded in a situation, maybe you wouldn't run the heat at 72. You can see that it's been on auto. So in addition to letting the car run, I made sure I put the lights to off so that they didn't kick on when it became dark. Not that the LED headlights are gonna eat up a lot of power. They would have contributed to that accessories section. Just trying to prove a little bit of a point here as a response to that article that was done in the Washington Post that obviously had a political agenda associated with it. Alright, we did it. We just hit 50%. That was at about 11 hours and 32 minutes and a couple seconds. So again, 68 kilowatt battery. So half of that's going to be 34. We are going to divide that by the 12 hours. So it was 11 hours, 32 minutes just now, and the additional half hour that it ran and shut itself off this morning. You are getting a kilowatt usage of just idling at 2.83, and again, that's at the settings that I have on. You could push this closer to 3 if you were in a bad situation and didn't think you were getting out anytime soon. I don't know anybody who'd want to sit in this much heat. I've only been in here for a few minutes, and it just climbed to 84 in here. It's too hot. So that's what you would get. I'd like to see someone with an ICE vehicle do a similar test with their car idling, engine on, so that they can run their heat from a full tank of gas or whatever, and see how long that would last. But all right, actually my phone overheated, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this again. Say you get back into the world's worst calculator. This battery pack here, 68 kilowatts. You want to divide that by the number we got for energy usage, which was 2.833. You could see, based on these conditions, you could be stranded for 24 hours before your battery went fully dead. Obviously, that's assuming starting at 100%, you would take the percentage off the 68. If you were at 50% to start, that gives you the 34, and then you multiply that by the efficiency number, you would be at exactly what I did just now. So 12 hours of stranded time. Again, I don't think this is as much of a concern as that Washington Post article made it seem. And I would be interested, if someone did this with an ICE vehicle, how that would perform. All right. Good night, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. I guess I'm supposed to say that. All right. Bye.